All right, Rich. So I have this sales prospect and they want to go ahead and think about it. What should I go ahead and do? Well, let's take a look at what it is that, before we talk about what it is that you should do and what is it that you can do, let's talk about some things that are keeping you stuck right now and things that you shouldn't do. The first thing that you shouldn't do is take this personally. When people say that they need some time to think about it, they're not really sure, can you give them a few days, can you give them a little bit of time? It's natural, and a lot of times it doesn't even have anything to do with you or the product that you are representing. They just got a lot going on right now. They have Every decision that they make has consequences. And if they make the wrong decision, you got to understand you took your commission and it's no longer your problem. Like if they came back to you and they said, yo, I bought your product and this was the wrong CRM for our company. It's like, oh shit, really? Like, you're gone. You spent that money already. I mean, honestly speaking, working in tech sales, you probably couldn't even hand that money back to them even if you wanted to. Like, if you went to your boss and said, hey, boss, Dan, yo, I don't think we should have sold that to that one e-commerce startup, man. Do you think we can give them their money back? He's gonna be like, yo, get the hell out of my face right now. What are you talking about? You're asking the wrong questions. You need to get back on the phones or go home, do something else. That was definitely the wrong thing to say. So you got to understand, don't take this personally. How you respond to that also shows them what kind of professional you are. You don't want to burn that bridge for a variety of reasons. This could be a company that might offer you a job later on or introduces you to a much better job. So the first thing that you don't want to go ahead and do, and I'm just going to spell it out for you in like, you don't want to go out there and be like, what do you need to think about? When people ask you that question, have you ever felt good? Like, what am I, stupid? I just said I needed to think about it. What do I need to think about? Let me tell you what they're not going to say, even if they're smiling. They're going to be saying this. I don't even know what it is that I need to think about, but I just know I feel wildly uncomfortable telling you a yes right now so you can go out there and cash in the check that is coming from my company. So I don't what was there to think about? I don't know, dude. I got to think about whatever it is I got to think about. When are you going to have an answer? I have no clue. And if you can't wait, that's fine with me, because nobody is saying if we don't buy HubSpot or we don't buy Zoom Info or we don't buy this other tech product, nobody is saying they're not going to be able to they're not going to be able to do business the next day. Nobody's saying that. So don't come off that way. Don't come off defensive. Don't come off as pushy. Just try to understand the customer and where it is that they're coming from. Okay. And a lot of times the frustrating thing is they're not going to know. They're not going to know. People call us all day saying they want to go and transition over to tech sales. And then sometimes they enroll, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they got to think about it too. But it's the follow-up game, right? People want to go ahead, and at the end of the day, people are very selfish, as they should be. If I'm not going to care about me, who the hell is going to do that job anyways, right? They have to care about themselves. You want to go ahead and acknowledge, okay, I understand. There's a lot to think about. I gave you a lot of information. There's probably a few other decision makers involved. And honestly speaking, I can absolutely appreciate the fact that if you make the wrong decision, how that is going to go ahead and affect you and your standing in the company, because money doesn't grow on trees. It never did. But right now it's definitely not the market to be wasting money, right? Why don't you go ahead and think about it, and you can let me know what is it that you need to go ahead and think about when I follow up with you in a few days. And this just comes back down to, I'm going to be making another question on asking some good probing questions. Did you ask enough questions up front in terms of what it is that they wanted? If you're pre-qualifying your customer in the very beginning as to why they're even interested in this product and how do they believe they can help them. At the end of the day, software products are to help companies and teams either make more money, or save more time. But what does that actually mean? That means you can save more time to do what? That's making more money to be able to do what? How does that connect to the pain point? There's a lot of times where you're not, like, I see a lot of sales gurus where they're like, do this and you'll go ahead and you'll make more money. Nah, honestly speaking, like, I had somebody try to sell me on something that had to do with Instagram recently. And it's not a tech product, but it's basically an agency in how to get us more leads as a business for Instagram. And I told that person, it wasn't anything spiteful, but I have to think about it. And the first thing they said, well, what do you need to think about? I don't know. But as a business owner, I have to make a lot of decisions a day. And right now, I don't feel comfortable giving you one. Well, we're running this promotion. I don't give a shit. It's like, well, like, I can't give you that promotion next week because it's going to be over. Then it's going to be over, I guess. It's like, so do you think you can have an answer by tomorrow? I can give you an answer right now. It's going to be no. Because you just turned me off so much that I don't even want to look at your name on an email. When I see your name on an email, if I'm not even getting good vibes from that, and if I feel like all you're trying to do is rob me, I don't care if that thing can go out there and print gold. I don't care, because all of you people sound exactly the same, and I know what you really want is the money that's coming out of my wallet and putting it into your wallet, and I haven't seen enough value to be able to go ahead and actually pull the trigger. So if you don't want them to get to the point where they say they have to think about it, what you need to do up front is to show them more value. So how do you show them more value? You don't show them more value by talking about who else is using this product. They also don't give a shit. I'm just going to be very real with you. Well, it's worked for this person. The only person I care if this works for is if it works for me. Okay, it's going to work for you. Let me tell you the major reason why companies hold back on buying your software service. Number one, there's only two scenarios here. Number one, they have it and they got to replace what they have with what you got. And let me tell you something, that migration process is never seamless, it's never effortless, and it never goes smoothly. It never finishes on time, and it's always behind schedule. So the effort that it takes to go ahead and move from one product to another product requires so much work that even the amount of money that they save comes at such an opportunity cost in terms of what it is that they could be doing with that time that it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay? That's one. Number two, they don't have it and you are a new product that's being implemented into their team. They got to justify, well, we never had this before, so why the hell do we need it now? But also, even if they can make a case for it, again, the implementation of it, the onboarding always sucks. Every time I buy a product or I buy a service, if it's got to be onboarded, most of the time it does, it always sucks. And you know what? Nobody wants to do real work. Nobody does. The salespeople always say, and I've gotten effed over by so many people, even the people that I didn't think was going to F me over, still F me over. It's never smooth. It's always rocky. So Alex Hormozy from $100 million offers, and it talks about there's 5 things. Okay, there's 5 parts of making the decision. Number 1 is the dream outcome. This is the dream outcome. We can get you here. Number 2 is the perceived likelihood of achievement, which is like, can it work for us? Is there any benefit for us? Of course, we'd want to get there. Everybody wants to get there, but is it going to work for our situation? Number 3 is effort and sacrifice. Number 4 is pricing, and number 5 is timing. Okay, these are the 3 things. These are the 5 things. Everybody focuses on the dream outcome. It's going to make you more money. It's going to save you more money. It's going to save you more time. Okay? Everybody always focuses on, well, it's going to work for you because it's worked for them. You're an e-commerce company, it works for them. You are this type of company, it's worked for them. Okay? Okay, everybody focuses on the pricing. I can go ahead and I can get you a better price. We can work out a payment plan. Okay? And then they say there's some kind of promotion. There's like, you got to make a decision. You know what else is left? Is this. It's right here in the middle. Right here. Is why they're saying no. Why they got to go ahead and think about it. Okay? Right here. So they don't even have enough time to go out there and do everything that they got to go ahead and do. It's the effort and the sacrifice. There's too much effort and there's too much sacrifice. It's just too much like hard work. So when they got to think about it, more often than not, what they really got to think about is whether or not, like, okay, now I got to think about, am I going to do this? Am I going to delegate somebody else to do this? I know nobody on my team's going to volunteer. I know you guys as a company, once you guys see the money get collected, you guys don't give a shit. And it's the truth. You don't. You don't care. Every CRM I ever use, not going to name names, Salesforce. As soon as the first check cashes in, they don't give a shit about you. Well, I'm not saying that just to bag Salesforce. Every other CRM company is the same thing. That is the problem, right? You're not going to change. Listen, this is how the business is run. You're not going to go ahead and do anything about it, change anything about it, because this comes from the top. It's not like you can go to your boss and say, we need to change the way we do business. And they will. They won't. So what can you do? What you can do is understand their situation of like, I understand why it is that you need to think about it. And it goes back to one of my other favorite books, Never Split the Difference, Chapter 5 by Chris Voss, where it's like, you want to get, instead of a yes, you want to get a that's right from them. Like, I understand why you can't make a decision today. There's probably so many other things that require you to make a decision, and this probably isn't something that you want to make a decision on. And honestly, if it was absolutely not a priority, you wouldn't have even entertained taking all those calls from me for the past however many days, weeks, months. But you do know at some point it's going to be a priority. It's just not something you can pull the trigger on today. I also understand that what your real hesitancy is there's a lot of things that you're still not sure of, and unfortunately you won't know for sure until we actually go down this rabbit hole. And you've been down similar rabbit holes before where the onboarding just wasn't smooth, and it requires way too much work, and it requires you to be the one that's actually going to drive it. It requires you to be, because nobody's going to volunteer from your company, and even anybody else that can do it, you're still going to have to be the one that's managing it on a high level. You're going to have to be the one that creates the instructions. You're going to have to be able to draft out the requirements and delegate to somebody, and then also make sure they're doing it right. Because you know, us as the company, we're not going to step in and do it because we're going to be on to the next customer. That's right. And you're going to say, that's right, that's right, that's right. Okay. I'm very limited in how it is that I can go out there and help you, but you do understand at some point this is going to be a priority. Why don't you tell me what I could do to kind of help move that process, right? Like, what can I do in terms of, and you know what, if they don't feel comfortable telling you, they also don't, but just the fact that you can empathize about what's holding them back is going to completely differentiate you, because 9 out of 10 of your competitors, it's just going to come out and say, whoa, what do you have to think about? It's a turnoff. Don't talk to anybody in any way that you don't appreciate being spoken to. You're in this business for the long haul, and you may not realize it right now because you're trying to go out there and just get through the quarter. But my career, 10 years went by like that. And largely, my reputation is what I bet on. I can't say everybody likes my personality, but people know what they're getting with me, and they know I deliver on my promises, right? You want to have a solid reputation, because like, this could be, I've gotten job offers before from people that I've pitched to. So you also want to be cognizant of like, I'm not just trying to close my next check. I'm trying to go out there and build relationships. This might be somebody, people say it and people like don't really care about it, is like, this could be somebody that you're actually going to do business with 10 years from now. So how you carry yourself is going to have repercussions whether you realize it or not. If you still, like, obviously you're not going to learn how to go out there and navigate this question just from watching one YouTube video. Schedule a call with us, because if you need to watch YouTube videos like this to do your job better, you need to go ahead and actually just be with a better company that has better sales managers to help you level up, because you need more than just YouTube videos to go out there and crush it. You need actual training, and you shouldn't be investing in these coaches like your sales manager. I mean, that person should be your coach. Why are you investing in a sales coach, right? Schedule a call. I would love to go ahead and talk to you.